notifications which he's receiving via that Apple earbud.
see.
He's the hero we need, not the hero we deserve. Bucket hat. So 8 minutes into the day, we rejoin the action at the feature table. There's been an opening raise from Nijinsky in the hijack. Action is on Horak on the button. Nijinsky's opened with ace-jack. Chirati, I've only seen one of his cards. 6 of spades.
Yeah, no.
Another raise and take it situation.
Tough to fold that big blind knowing you put the ante out there too, right?
Actually true, yeah. If you have anything reasonable like a suited hand, usually you will call and see a flop.
Yeah.
Something connected.
I played my first big blind ante tournament at Stones when we did the Moneymaker Tour, the first stop there.
Was that the one that you won?
No. That one had no antes. It's kind of how I like it. But the actual Moneymaker, I won the nightly. The Moneymaker Tour stop had a big blind ante.
Yeah, it's a nice change. It's much quicker, yeah?
I mean, I wouldn't know.
There's
I've never played a regular ante tournament before.
We joked yesterday about the Betamax VHS war. There's a lot of debate in the industry and amongst live event operators which is better, the button ante or the big blind ante. I think everyone agrees that either is preferable to everyone posting their own.
Correct.
But I don't think we've yet settled on the industry standard. And clearly, PokerStars live events is pushing big blind ante, as are some other operators, but then some of our rivals are pushing button ante, and hopefully, eventually, at some TDA conference, we can come to a consensus, because it would be good if it were uniform throughout the world.
I agree.
I mean, it probably will be, considering there's probably just going to be like one company that runs everything at one point. I mean, in the entire world, not just in poker.
Wow, it's a bit dark for
Fox Disney Tours.
12:45 in the afternoon. Oh, I heard the words all in. Dimov open with 9s. The short stack Alfonsin is shoved with ace-7. And he's going to get looked up by at least one player, that player being Dimov.
Probably just one.
Yep, Buckley folds the king-9. Dimov calls with the 9s. Alfonsin with one overcard to Dimov's pocket pair. He's the player at risk. He needs to hit to survive.
Left in, right?
This guy's been Alfonsin around the whole tournament.
He was running low on chips, just looking for a spot. Saw an ace, and it's like, well, this might be my only shot before the big blind comes around again.
Queen 8-5 on the flop, 9s holding. 3 outs for Alfonsin.
Okay.
Yeah, picks up additional outs. 4, the case 9, or an ace on the river will see him double up and survive.
Hey,
But it's
not
an
there.
8. And we see the elimination of Martin Alfonsin. The online qualifier cashes out in 50 day.
Things really slowed down last night as we closed out day 3. Lots of people want to make to day 4. I think people are going to have a little more energy today once things pick up a little bit. That goal in sight of making day 5, not something you can really just hang on to from the start of day 4.
Yeah, but once you get to the end, once you see day 5 in sight, people play pretty tight because they start to realize the pay jumps are going to be very big.
So Jamie O'Connor has opened from under the gun +1 with pocket 9s. Dimov has king-jack on the button. 2 big stacks tangling here, potentially. O'Connor started the hand with 1.77 million. Dimov with 1.88 million.
I believe he put some re-raising chips in there.
Yeah, he has 3-bet to 135k. Nijinsky has king-9 suited in the big blind. He folds, so action back on O'Connor. Is this a calling spot, Randy?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely a calling spot. You got 1.7 million to play. You got a lot of chips. You probably know your opponent will 3-bet light occasionally.
I mean, this is a little loosey-goosey, hey?
Yeah, I think Dimov, a lot of players, like, if they see these deep stacks, they're like, well, if I get, like, king-jack, king-10, these are the type of hands I'll 3-bet with. Of course, aces and ace-king. So I like to have some 3-bet bluffs.
So there is the call. We go to the flop. Dimov with the advantage of position and the pre-flop betting lead. Queen, Jack 5. Dimov takes the lead. Second pair. Action goes check, check. Dimov now a 97% favorite. A 9 was folded pre-flop. Once again, check, check. And we do not get the case 9 on the river.
So I think O'Connor's just hoping this gets checked down. Win against a hand like ace-king. Dimov, I think when he sees 3 checks in front of him, should be able to bet here pretty safely.
Reckon this bet gets paid, though?
I don't think the bet should get paid too often. Because if he put his opponent on ace-king, they likely would just check back the river because it's a free showdown. To me, this screams like a queen that 3-bet light or a jack. It just seems like if someone was willing to bluff at it, they would have took a shot on the flop or turn.
Things that 9s are beating right now all would have bet previous to this.
So we'll see if O'Connor can figure it out. Nice laydown.
So Dimov moves over the 2 million mark, more than 100 big blinds. And number 15, blinds still 10,000, 20,000. Action will be on Jiří Horák from the Czech Republic. He's folded. Jamie O'Connor's out. The short stack, Salim Charati shoves for his last 14 big blinds with ace-jack of hearts.
Getting another shot with ace-jack. This time suited.
Ongyan Dimov has pocket 10s on the button.
He's getting looked up.
I like to see Dimov just call here. His opponents in the blinds have a lot of chips, so you don't want to risk them all for no reason.
Just a call from Dimov.
Double call.
Ali Tariq looks interested in the small blind. He's got jacks.
Whoa, pocket jacks.
What is the play here, Randy?
I think Tariq just needs to go all in here. It's just too strong of a hand. You've only got 40, you got 43 big blinds. It's a lot of big blinds, but if your opponent Dimov ever has a hand like 10s and 9s and ace-queen, like, you just need to go with this hand.
But if he has queens and kings, does he play it the same way? Does he just call?
He would probably play the same way, and that's the thing. That's the tricky part. It's just that jacks does so well. I think ace-queen, you can pitch it pretty easily. But jacks is actually a big favorite against certain hands like 10s and 9s. We'll see what he thinks.
He does shove for 855k. And Dimov has asked for a count. Well, whatever you do, don't do a Cala du So and let your time run out.
This is a pretty tough spot for Dimov. He's already put in 280,000.
Are you gonna triple up? Flip? You feel it? If you're gonna triple. Life will tell me. You have to feel it. Life will tell me.
I think in this spot, he really only beats ace-king. I don't think he should expect his opponent to shove ace-queen. The thing is, he put in so many chips. It's not a crazy amount more. It's a tough spot. If he ever thought his opponent would shove ace-queen, then he would want to make the call, but I don't think he can do that. This is very deep in a big tournament.
There's the call.
Boom, boom, boom.
So Dimov puts 2 players at risk, but he is behind. It's not looking good, by the way, for Salim Charati.
This might be the 3 most similar-looking men in a 3-way all-in we've ever seen.
Easy. King, queen.
Ace, ace, ace.
Look at all that facial hair.
Ali Tariq,
You surprised me you call with the pocket 10, bro.
54% favorite to get a near triple up.
No, I will tell you later.
Charati only
I know,
26% to survive.
Terus grupo still Pandimov.
Okay, just.
2 players all in. Dimov has them both covered, but it's Tariq with the best hand.
See if Anyan can find a 10 hiding in the attic.
Ooh.
I take the 8 of heart.
Flush draw for Charati. Equity
8
increases to
of
38%.
4 of hearts, I like it. Okay. 8 of 4. 4 of heart.
Turn card. It's a 10!
Oh.
The 10 of clubs!
Okay, now I need
Anyan.
a 4 of
No, then I
heart.
count.
9 of heart. 8 of heart.
Dimov now a huge favorite to eliminate 2
Do it.
players.
Do it one time.
Jacob
Do it.
Spade.
Tariq needs the case jack.
Do it.
Charati's looking for a heart that doesn't
Okay.
pair the board.
Jacob.
It's okay. Do it.
Jacob Spade.
8 of heart. 4 of heart.
It's the deuce of clubs,
Well,
and that is a full house for Onyan Dimov. The Doval
Can I give
2015
him my 10 back?
champion takes out 2 players in one
No, no, no.
hand. 15 players have won seats to the $5,200 buy-in WCOOP main
Already?
event via Spin and Goes.
Wow. Let's hope they know they were in WCOOP satellite spin and goes.
Pretty hard.
Because sometimes, Randy, these guys win spin and goes and they don't know.
They don't know what they won.
No. Right, James? People have won packages and didn't know it.
Until someone chases them up with an email saying, "You're coming, right?" They're like, "What have I won?"
Yeah.
So ridiculous.
It's like they win the last hand of the spinning go and they just walk away from the computer.
Yeah, they're
Doesn't
like,
look at
"Cool.
the prize.
GG.
So Connor opens, Buckley of ace-10 going to correctly just play a little bit safer of the ace-10.
Ace-4 for Caladiso.
He's got 60 big blinds.
Yeah, he came to the table with 1.2 mil.
Yeah, it's a nice mix of stack sizes, like really short stacks and really big stacks.
Nijinsky calls on the button with ace-10 of hearts.
We did see Buckley fold ace-10 offsuit, so 1 ace and 1 10 are gone.
And we're going heads up to the flop.
I think we saw ace-4 fold as well, Randy.
That's right.
Interesting. King 9-9 with 2 hearts. O'Connor with a gut shot. Nijinsky with the nut flush draw.
Don't blame O'Connor for continuation betting. He just has queen high inside straight draw. But ace-10 of hearts is not going anywhere. I'd like to see him just call in position. Now, it's hard to represent trip 9, so calling makes your hand look a little bit stronger, I think.
O'Connor pairs his queen on the turn. Slows down, checks the action to Nijinsky.
Yeah, I like the check, just hard to get called by worse. The ace-10 suited, you know, you turn extra outs, you can hit a jack to make it straight. I'd like to see him consider firing a bet. He can get better hands to fold, like pocket 8s, pocket 7s, pocket 6s. Very hard for him to call. He's going to check it back, take the free card.
The inconsequential deuce of spades.
If I'm O'Connor here, I'm just checking, just hoping my opponent checks it back. Just too hard to get called by worse. Think of ace-10 of hearts, you might feel you got enough showdown value to check it back, but looks like he's thinking about reaching for chips now instead of the turn. It's a bit interesting.
75,000 into 220,000.
So I think O'Connor in this spot really only beats a flush draw. He's probably thinking, would my opponent bet a flush draw on the turn when checked to him? If he thinks the answer is yes, he should be folding. If he thinks he's going to check it back sometimes, he should make the call. He does make the call correctly.
Jamie O'Connor wins the pot.
Call Jack high?
What's that?
You call Jack high? Something?
Adds 210k to his stack. O'Connor close to the 2.
Who was it? Your mother? My wife.
Tyres is opened under the gun with Jack 9 of diamonds. 45,000 is the size of his raise.
Now, I did say you'd have a better chance of having your tweets read if you tweeted at me. One thing I can't just read all these tweets that are saying nice things about me, though. It sounds weird and self-serving, and I am weird and self-serving, but I just can't be that obvious about it. So thank you, Chris, and thank you, B.
It's also very hard to read a tweet that's just a series of emojis.
Correct.
Dimov has called on the button. Round to Nijinsky in the big blind. He also has a suited ace. He calls as well. Three-way action going to the flop. Ace, Jack, 3 with 2 spades. It's a top pair for Nijinsky. Second pair for Tekerpa. Top pair and the nut flush draw for Dimov.
So checks around. Ooh, look at that.
And now the flush draw for Tekerpa to go with his pair of jacks.
Oui, mon cœur. C'est toi qui m'as... C'est toi
Flush
qui m'as
draw,
appelé?
top pair. What's happening?
Ça va, mon amour?
There hasn't been a post-flop bet yet. Another check. Dimov, when he sees checks around on the flop and turn, I think he's got to bet now. He is going to bet. Got to protect yourself against Jack 10, King Queen, Queen Jack. So I don't blame the ace 4 for calling here. It's been checked around on the flop. Now you got Jack 9 suited.
Surely he has to call as well with the price he's getting.
Yeah, you got to call. And the way you played it seems like really weird to just raise all of a sudden. He might be thinking about it to make a big play here if he thinks his opponents are weak.
So 55,000 from everyone. Going to the river, still three-way. Queen of spades. It's Dimov who makes a flush on the river.
Fair, he flopped it. You know, he flopped the flush draw.
So this should get checked around to Dimov. It's hard to imagine him get paid off on this river card, but if I was him, I think he should go for a really big bet and just hope someone's got a 10 in their hand. Usually no one's calling with 2 pair, but maybe Tekerpa is thinking about turning his hand into bluff. He knows this jack is never good. He is going to lead.
Ooh. Unfortunate timing, let's put it that way.
I think it's correct that he figures out that his jack is just never good here. Can he put his opponent on a 10? He probably doesn't expect his opponents to bet a Jack 10, King 10 type hand on a turn, or even call those bets. So, you know, you can't blame him for making a stab here. chances of someone having a 10 are quite low.
Now in a three-way pot, he doesn't have to raise, right, James?
Yeah, he doesn't have to raise because he can hope that the big blind comes along for a call. Correct.
But he will raise. $450,000, 2 quick folds, more chips for the chip daddy. Onion Dimov up to 3.6 million, 180. Not sure there's anywhere to go with the story.
I love to hear that he's still out there battling, though.
With his suspiciously stained hat. Buckley with Queen 9 of hearts under the gun. He's been playing pretty snug. Not been bullying the table with his big stack.
It was Buckley yesterday who won. He was up to 3.6 million chips, I want to say, with the set of deuces on the ace deuce 4-3.
Correct.
And called off against the ace queen, right?
Correct.
One of the outer tables.
Ace queen for Jamie O'Connor in the small blind.
And these two playing fairly deep, both over 2 million in chips, versus an early position open. We could see either play here.
Stu Ravenscroft tweets to say, O'Connor is the most Russian-looking, Irish-sounding Leeds fan I've ever seen play poker. Which implies that he has seen someone who's more Russian-looking, Irish-sounding, Leeds-supporting, who doesn't play poker.
Right. So O'Connor does just call with the ace-queen. Jedlička coming along now with a 6-deuce suited.
We have a 9-7-5 flop. Top pair for Buckley. Domination, rotation.
I don't think this is quite going to be enough for Jedlička to shove his final few big blinds. Any 6, any deuce, some diamonds, I'm sure he would have went with it.
Looking good.
It is a check to Buckley, who bets 65k and gets 2 quick folds. Chips go to chips. With just 41 players remaining in the field, he's now kind of back in the game with 15 big blinds.
And 38 starts with the action on Jamie O'Connor. He folds under the gun. 4 deuce for Jedlička. He mucks. 10 of hearts for Mark Buckley. Start of day chip leader. Now outside the top 5. Still has 2.5 million. He's not complaining.
Not a bad position to be in with just under 100 big blinds at this stage.
Fairly tight fold though, with the 10-8 of hearts. Definitely going to see some players opening off his stack.
Well, this guy is the chip leader. Onion Dimov, 5-4 of spades. That's a raise from the cutoff. King Jack of spades for Khaled So.
Playing about 27, 28 big blinds. I think this is mostly going to be a call against an aggressive player in the cutoff. Keep some dominated hands in. Play a pot in position.
Three seconds. I think he verbally announced call and is now finding the chips to make the call. So round to Yuri Horak in the big blind. He folds, heads up to the flop. Dimov, the pre-flop aggressor, so with the best hand and the advantage of position. The flop is ace, ace, jack.
Fairly strong flop for So. Obviously, he knows he's up against a wide range. Chip leader in the cutoff's going to be opening lots of suited connectors, lots of hands in general. So he'll feel pretty good about it.
Dimov continues. Now, Khaled So is a player who does like to take his time over his decisions, but he is out of time bank cards. He's got 30 seconds per street. Here he elects to call the 40k, and this hand is going to the turn.
Almost always a situation where he'll just want to call. His opponent's got a wide range and he'll want him to keep betting.
9 of spades gives both players flush draws, but Dimov is officially drawing dead. His flush draw is no good, so has bigger spades.
Could be an okay spot for a barrel. He picks up some equity. He can still fold out hands like King Queen and King 10. Maybe even try and target a jack for a fold over 3 streets.
185,000. Caluso, the effective stack, was 629k behind, which translates into roughly 25 big blinds.
This is not an ideal time not to have any more time banks.
I think at this point, obviously with his equity, he's almost certainly calling. But there's going to be a very difficult decision on a lot of river cards. If he gets triple barreled here on a brick river with only 30 seconds in the time bank, is he going to be able to call his hand?
And Dimov is the kind of player who will absolutely exploit that, who will absolutely look to take advantage of being able to put his opponent under pressure. Well, it's the king of clubs. So improves to aces and kings.
His hand, if Dimov jams, is largely similar than if he had a jack, because if Dimov shoves river, he's going to have an ace or better. Obviously, Queen 10 gets there, which takes out some of Dimov's bluffs. Wow.
Dimov bluff shoves the river. It is all in to call for Caluso. He's got 30 seconds to make his decision.
And you'll notice Dimov shoves very quickly, and that's probably to restrict the time So has to think about it.
And So used about 5 seconds off his clock before folding. Special zoom hands. And just to be clear, you do not have to win the hands, you just have to play them. You've got until just before midnight tonight to complete the challenge, and that will get you a ticket for Sunday's free roll to win a platinum pass. The tickets will not be dispatched until Sunday, because the more challenges you complete, there are 4 in total, the more chips you'll get in the free roll. So if you complete all 4 challenges, it will be an 8k starting stack in Sunday's free roll, which will start at 4 p.m. Central European summertime. But you can't participate in this promotion if you're in the Czech Republic, Greece, Italy, Portugal, or New Jersey, or anywhere in the world where you can't play for real money on stars.
30 hands today, 20 hands yesterday, 10 hands today before.
You see,
Any guesses for
Don't
tomorrow?
spoil what
No.
4th day challenge
I'm
is.
adamant. I don't believe that we would be that stupid. I firmly believe we're going to mix it up. It's going to be something like play 3 spin and goes. It's going to be win with a straight, because there'll be that expectation, and then we'll go, ah.
Send that curveball in.
Exactly. We love a curveball.
Cut to tomorrow. Play 4.
So Dimov opened under the gun. Horak 3 bets with kings. O'Connor wakes up with ace-queen. Hello.
Now, we've seen ace-queen in this very situation played a couple of different ways. I think Jamie was here yesterday, where it went raise, 3-bet, and ace-queen behind, and Jamie folded. But a player, I can't recall who it was, but earlier on the feature table, it went raise, 3-bet, and Coolman, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
Coolman, 4-bet all in behind.
I will say it's a little bit different because Koolman had about 27, 28 big blinds, whereas O'Connor here is sitting on about 2.8 million, I believe it was.
Right.
And Dimov has 3.5 million under the gun. So I think it's a spot where it's a little bit of an easier fold because, you know, you can't cold call. You can use it as a 4-bet bluff. I like the fold, though. I think it's... I'm not just saying that because I can see kings, but it's been opened under the gun. Horak has, you know, quite the short stack and he's 3-betting. If you get an ace-queen there, you're just not going to be doing very well. And if you're always using it as a 4-bet bluff, you're just going to be bluffing too much, I feel.
Yep. Well, that's the thing. It's a 3-bet off 22 big blinds here from Horak. So, you know, he's not going to be light too much of the time.
Top set for Horak. Second pair for Dimov.
And it's incredibly safe flop for him in that he probably feels good about winning the pot. But blocking so much of what his opponent can call with, it might be difficult for him to get paid. I think he'll want to either check to trap or go for a very small sizing.
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to continue here, I'd probably only bet in around 100k. Maybe a tiny bit bigger, but not much.
Yep, somewhere between a quarter and a third seems best.
I mean, it's probably okay to check occasionally. But
Yep.
the problem is you're going to be c-betting here if you do have ace-queen, ace-10, any of your bluffs are probably going to continue.
But you might check back an ace-jack. You might check back a queens.
Yeah, true, but against Dimo's range, he's going to get in a king all the time. So if they're the hands that you're checking back, you're not going to get too much action from a jack. Like if he's been coolered with the last king, you know, if he has king queen, if he has king 10 suited, they're going to end up all in anyway.
Right. He finds himself on the turn with just less than a pot-sized bet remaining.
I will say at this point, if you continue to bet small on the turn, it's going to be absolutely petrifying, because if you do get to this turn with an ace-queen, if you do get to this turn with an ace-10, if you get to the turn with anything you're going to pull the trigger with, if you have some weird combination of 9-7 of hearts, as unlikely as it is off this stack size, if you pull the trigger, I'd imagine you're going to be all in.
Right, if you are bluffing here, you're just going to move all in, right?
Yeah.
Maximize your fold equity, better chance of your opponent folding. If you get here with, say, ace-10, ace-queen of hearts, or, like you say, some weird other heart combination. But when you go so small, it's like you're inviting action on a turn. So I think Dimov can probably happily fold his jack. It's a spot where he's going to have some kings in his range to call, and that is likely enough.
The problem for Horik, of course, is that like if he shoves, it's just so tough for him to be called as well. So maybe